alaikum. So I am Muhsin Hendricks, and I was asked to do a recipe and a storytelling for this page by my cousin. So I'm doing this all for her. Lovely Lot Zahra. So I don't have much of a story to tell, but today I'll be cooking Sindi Breyani, and the recipe or the learning of how to do the Sindi Breyani goes back to my days in Pakistan when I was a student there, and we had to cook for ourselves, and so I've learned how to do biryani the hard way. And often people think that biryani needs to have lentils in it, but there's different kinds of biryanis in the world. So today I'm going to show you Sindi Breyani. Before I start, I just want to say thank you to my daughter Batul, who's offered her kitchen for me to do this in, and also she's busy taking the video. So I'm going to take you through all the ingredients, and biryani it's a whole khadunta, so you need all these ingredients for a lovely pot of biryani for the family. And I'm going to be cooking for about between 6 to 8 people. I say 6 because once you have one plate of biryani, you want to have another one. This is my onions, and it's just about a cup and a half of onions to 2 cups. And then I have my 2 tomatoes chopped up, and I'm going to use about 1 tablespoon of tomato paste just to give a nice rich and creamy gravy for the biryani. And over here you're probably thinking what this is. So this is my water that I'm actually going to color my yellow rice with. So I've put in some yellow essence. Sometimes I use the yellow powder, which is much more richer in color. So but if I don't have that, then I use the essence, the yellow food coloring. And here I have 1 drop of almond essence, 1 drop of ilachi, which is your cardamom, and a few drops of saffron. I like the taste of saffron, so I put extra in it, but don't go overboard with especially your almonds, because almond essence can tend to be bitter sometimes. And then I mix that with a little bit of my mustard oil. So you're probably wondering, why is the mustard oil so brown? Well, this mustard oil was left over from achar that I made a few weeks ago, and so there's some nice masala in there that I don't want to lose. So sometimes I will fry an egg in it, or put it in my curries, and I add it to my biryani. So I've added also a tablespoon of this into that water that I'm going to use for the rice. This is ghee that I actually make myself. I brown it slightly because then it gets that caramelized taste. So what I do with the coconut milk is, when my biryani is almost complete, it's busy steaming but it's getting a bit dry, then I would add a little bit of ghee just to keep it moist, and some coconut milk, and it gives a lovely flavor to your biryani. I like to use a lot of garlic and ginger. It's chicken style strips, but it's actually vegetarian. So I went ahead and spiced it a little bit with some methi masala and a few drops of my mustard oil, and a little bit of garlic and ginger, and I just marinate it. So I will then fry this later into a little bit of ghee, mix it maybe with a little bit of oil, and then just to get it a little bit crispy, and then I can just toss it in to the biryani like that. Using sour cream or yogurt or dahi as we call it in the biryani is essential, so I'm going to be using about 1 cup of this. This is whole biryani spice. I only use it for the white rice, to flavor the white rice, because as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be using this flavoring for my yellow rice, and this is for my white rice. And then I like to use these baby potatoes because I can just pop it into the microwave for a few minutes, and then I fry them in a little bit of ghee just to glaze it and make it slightly brown on the outside. Lacto-ovo vegetarians, if you want to create a richer biryani, you can actually put in some boiled eggs as well. For the garnishing, I use onions. So they're already fried. You can actually buy them like that in packets, and some dhania. I don't chop my dhania fine. I like them to be whole on top of the biryani. So I've got a few spoons of ghee and about 1 or 2 spoons of oil and my dry biryani masala, and I just sort of fry that a little bit because it sort of brings out the flavor before I add my rice. For biryani, it's nice to fry your rice, so you're going to keep on stirring your rice while it's still hard. Don't stir it too much when it's soft, because you don't want your rice to break. And on a slow heat, and then just now and then you add 1 cup of water until it is half done. So I've taken out half of my rice, and then I'm just going to color my rice like this. And then you can just leave it in your strainer to dry out. I actually mixed a little bit of my flavoring that I'm going to add to my yellow rice, just to color my potatoes also a little bit. I'm going to actually glaze my veggies now, but I'm going to keep it crisp because I want to steam it with the rice later. And then I'm going to leave the rest of the oil and the ghee in there for my onions. So I'm just going to steam that for about 5 to 10 minutes. I was just talking to my daughter earlier on, and I was saying to her, she's saying, yo, this looks like a mission. If you enjoy cooking, then it can be very therapeutic, especially when you're alone at home, cooking for the family, putting on some lovely soft music in the background, and you just relax. It's like meditation on its own. So I love cooking. So after 5 minutes, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually take out all my veggies that boiled very quickly, like my peppers, because I just really needed them to be glazed. And then after 5 minutes again, I will come back and take out the broccoli and the cauliflower, and then I'll leave my carrot in for last to get a bit softer. Okay. And now I'm still left with some oil and some ghee, so I'm now going to fry my onions in that same oil. Let that brown for about 5 minutes. Right, so my onions is brown, light brown, and I'm just adding a little bit of salt in it to taste. And then I'm going to add my marinated chicken strips, vegetarian chicken strips. And I'm just going to braise that for another 5 minutes. And now I'm going to add my Sindi Breyani masala. Add about 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. And Just mix that through nicely. Your cup of yogurt. Because I'm used to cooking, so I know more or less what a cup looks like. And now I'm going to layer everything that goes into the biryani. So I put some white rice first at the bottom. Okay. Gravy. Now, when it's Eid, then I actually take one packet of cashew nuts and I just quickly brown it, lightly brown, in a bit of ghee, like a teaspoon of ghee, and then I also put that on top. And now it's ready to steam. When it comes off from the steam, then it will be a little bit dry inside, and that's when I take 1 cup of coconut milk and I just sprinkle it in there before I serve. That's my biryani, Sindi Breyani dish. I hope you enjoyed it. I wouldn't advise that you do this as a dinner meal on a daily basis. It takes too much time, so it's a special meal for for those special days. Please enjoy it, and if there's any stage in the process that you have missed, just put your comments or your questions below in the comment box, and I'll try to answer them for you. So yeah, that's my contribution. Assalamu alaikum.